In 2018, the world was shaken by a controversial scientific breakthrough. A Chinese scientist, He Jiankui, announced that he had successfully edited the genes of twin girls to make them resistant to HIV. It was the first time humans had intentionally modified DNA to create genetically altered individuals, sparking an ethical firestorm. What if this was just the beginning? What if we could take this technology and push it even further to create superhumans, resurrect extinct species, or even design entirely new life forms? For centuries, humans have dreamed of transcending their natural limitations. The gods of myth and legend possessed abilities far beyond our reach. But what if we could craft our own gods? What if we could sculpt the next stage of evolution with our own hands? Welcome to the frontier of genetic manipulation, where science meets divinity, and the line between creation and creator blurs. We began with simple observations, patterns in the way traits passed from one generation to the next. But today, we hold the scalpel to the very code of life itself. CRISPR, the molecular scissors, allows us to cut, edit, and rewrite DNA with unprecedented precision. We have already used it to cure genetic diseases, enhance physical traits, and even create designer babies resistant to certain illnesses. But this is only the beginning. Imagine a world where we don't just eliminate disease, but create superhumans' enhanced intelligence, strength beyond normal limits, heightened senses. Imagine soldiers who never tire, astronauts who can withstand cosmic radiation, or geniuses with photographic memories. The genetic lottery would no longer be left to chance. We could engineer our children to be perfect. But as we push the boundaries of genetics, we also face an age-old question. What defines a soul? If we edit a baby's genes to perfection, does it still have the same essence, the same intangible spirit that makes it human? And if we take a step further, if we create something entirely new, what then? This is not just speculation. In 2018, Chinese scientist He Jiankui made history and controversy by editing the genes of twin girls to make them resistant to HIV. His actions ignited a global debate on bioethics, forcing the world to confront the power and risks of genetic editing. More recently, scientists have experimented with modifying animal genes to grow human-compatible organs, and even attempted to reverse aging in mice. You see, DNA is a puzzle with infinite possibilities. What if we turned back the clock and revived extinct species? We already know that birds are the closest living relatives to dinosaurs, and scientists have begun altering chicken embryos to express ancient traits: teeth, longer tails, reptilian features. The first real-life Jurassic Park may not be fiction much longer, but why stop at dinosaurs? What if we went beyond simple resurrection and started designing creatures that never existed? If we can mix DNA, why not create mermaids, centaurs, creatures of myth and legend? The science is not as far-fetched as it seems. We've created mice with human brain cells, pigs with human-compatible organs. The jump from medical mice with human brain to engineered fantasy is just a matter of ethics, not feasibility. We've already unlocked the secrets of life. CRISPR allows us to cut and paste DNA like a biological editor. We've engineered glowing fish, mice with human brain cells, and even pigs with human-compatible organs. But what if we pushed further? What if we could create something entirely new? Imagine a centaur, not from mythology, but from a lab. By merging human DNA with that of a horse, we could create the ultimate endurance runner, capable of traveling vast distances at incredible speeds. A new species, stronger, faster, perfectly adapted for war, exploration, or even sports. But why stop there? What if we could fly? That's the ultimate human dream. By blending human DNA with that of birds or bats, we could create winged humans, capable of soaring above skyscrapers, escaping gravity itself. What was once the domain of superheroes could become reality with a single modification of our genetic code. But what if our creations weren't just improvements of ourselves? What if we designed entirely new life forms, beings that could survive radiation, thrive in zero gravity, and exist without food or oxygen? The perfect species for interplanetary travel, engineered for the harsh landscapes of Mars or beyond. Not humans, not animals, but something new. Life created purely for survival. But here's the real question. If we create something entirely new, does it have a soul? A baby modified in the womb still carries human ancestry, still has the echoes of thousands of years of evolution, of history, of memory. But a creature designed from scratch, a being never meant to exist, it would have no past, no ancestry, no soul, only programmed instincts and cold intelligence. And what if these beings, unburdened by the need for identity, emotions, or purpose, decide that we, their creators, are obsolete? What if they see us the way we see outdated technology, something to be discarded, replaced? Are we truly pushing the boundaries of science, or are we playing God? If we create life, do we have the right to control it? But before we ask whether we are gods, we must ask, are we free ourselves? What if we too were created? What if the reality we live in, our choices, our desires, even our perception of free will, is an illusion designed by something beyond us? What if the gods we revere were once like us, creations of something greater, unknowable? We exist in a world governed by rules, laws of physics, biological imperatives, instincts we do not control. We claim to have free will, but do we? If every decision we make is a result of chemical reactions, of algorithms written into our DNA, then are we any different from the creatures we create in our labs? The cycle repeats. The created becomes the creator. The puppet becomes the puppeteer. And yet, the strings remain. Perhaps the greatest irony of playing God is that we may have never been free to begin with. Of course, everything we discussed here is just speculation and imagination from our minds. But what if this is not just a cycle, but a test? A challenge set by something greater, observing if we will create or destroy, ascend or repeat our mistakes. What if every creation, every god, every civilization is merely another link in a chain stretching beyond comprehension? And the ultimate question remains, what awaits us when the test is complete?